next guest is an American humorist, New York Times bestselling author, playwright, and radio commentator. His latest book is Calypso. Please welcome David Sedaris. Hi, David.
Actually, I believe that's #1 New York Times.
Oh,
that's right.
Congratulations.
Yeah, and probably the #1 Fitbit walker from what we hear.
I got a Fitbit a couple of years ago, and it feeds right into my mental illness. And so I walk between 18 and 22 miles a day when I'm home.
Just because you keep trying to beat, like initially they said 10,000 steps is good, right? And then you just kept raising the bar.
I kept raising the bar and raising the bar, and then while I do it, I pick up garbage on the side of the road.
Oh, you do?
And
you're not in an orange jumpsuit or anything, are you?
No. Where I live, I live in England.
Yeah.
And people just throw everything out the car window.
Really?
And so
that's not illegal there?
It is, but everybody does it. And I picked up so much trash, I got invited to Buckingham Palace.
You did?
The Queen has a day when she invites do-gooders to Buckingham Palace.
Did you meet her?
No, but I stood right near her. But they served ice cream at the end of the thing, and people littered right at Buckingham Palace.
And then you started picking up their littering right at the palace.
They would just leave it in a potted plant or just set it on the ground. And these are do-gooders. So on ne'er-do-well day, it would really be a dump.
Yeah. Well, we certainly know that you went to the Art Institute of Chicago, so you got ties right here in our city. What, you have an interesting story about how you got your big break, so to speak.
Oh, well, I moved to Chicago in 1984, and I went to the Art Institute. And this was back when there was still Dominic's. And Treasure Island, does Treasure Island still exist?
The grocery stores you're talking about?
Yeah, Treasure Island.
Yeah.
Anyway, I moved here from North Carolina, and so this was like, such a change for me. And I went to the Art Institute, and then I just started reading out loud in little places. And so I was reading, gosh, there was a place called Lower Links, and Ira Glass happened to be there, and then he called me a few years later and said, would you like to be on the radio? And so he put me on the radio, and it just changed everything for me.
Yeah. Wow. But writing has always been a love of yours?
Yeah. I started when I was 20. I just started one day, and it's because it's like with the Fitbit. It's easy for me to do the exact same thing at the exact same time every day, like a crazy person. And so I wrote like that.
And that's what you do. And loss is a big theme in your writing, right? Why do you choose to talk about loss?
Well, I guess I'm just at an age where people are starting to die.
Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting when in days past, your parents would probably die when they were like 65.
Right.
And now they live and live and live. My father is 95.
Wow.
Is he doing well?
Yeah, he is. But my sisters and I are like, are you still alive? Like, I mean,
what does he say back?
Old, but he's in great shape, and but I'm at an age now, where things like that are real, and people get cancer.
Right.
Your friends, and you thought, oh, that's supposed to happen to their parents, and then they. So.
Is it scary though when you're in that age and in that space where you're like, all this loss is happening, and it's like this is kind of like my wheelhouse?
Well, you know what I say to people is, like, I have a friend, and his dad just died, but he's in his 30s, and I was the only condolence letter that he got. So it's just a good thing to get good at. You know what I mean? Like, nobody knows what to say when somebody's parent. Nobody knows, but it's never too late to send a letter, and it makes you feel better. I mean, if it was you.
Let them know you're thinking about them. What do you want people to get from Calypso? What do you want people to get from this book?
Well, one of the chapters in the book is I travel a lot, and I was in Europe, and I was asking people, like, what do you say when somebody cuts you off in traffic? And
it's usually sign language, isn't it?
I was going to say, I got a couple of words.
Yeah.
I know, but our words are nothing compared to things that they say in other countries. It is filthy, absolutely filthy.
The book is filthy?
That chapter in the book.
Okay.
And it's so, it's just such an eye-opener. I mean, I would want somebody to get that out of it, so if you, because it makes you realize
we can really get a better diction when we want to cut someone out.
How unimaginative we are.
What chapter is that again?
Val wrote it.
Which one is that? Yeah, no, you're writing to me.
Yeah.
Yesterday, somebody was honking at me. There were pedestrians crossing the street. I could not go anywhere. And she's laying on her horn. I think I used some words from this book to tell her to calm down.
That's it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Again, I remember this chapter.
That's right. The book's called Calypso, and David is going to be at the bookseller tonight. The reading portion is sold out, but you can meet him at the book signing afterward. And I hear that he signed for hours and hours, right?
I love it. I love
And you talk to
books.
people. You actually talk to them.
Oh, and I learned such fascinating things. Yeah, I love it.
I heard there was a book signing that went 10 hours, so we'll see how long he's there tonight. Head to WindyCityLive.com for the details. All right, up next.
Hey, if you like that video, be sure to subscribe to our ABC7 Chicago YouTube channel.